Okay, perfect. So, welcome this evening to the Junior Competitions Volley Zone meeting. The idea of the meeting is to hopefully get everybody attuned to setting up their accounts and then being able to sign into Volley Zone and create their teams and sign up to the events that are on the junior competitions. Obviously, the deadline for Tier 1 this year is next Monday, the 11th of September, which covers all 4 Grand Prix. But also the Tier 2 round 1, as in Grand Prix 1, is also the 11th of September, which is next Monday. So we're keen that clubs get themselves in a position where they can enter those events and make sure that they can get online and set up their clubs before that. Obviously, if there's any issues after the meeting and you want to talk to me or send me an email, then feel free to do that. So the agenda for tonight are these 5 things. So we've got creating and administrating account for clubs. Some of you are probably on the Volley Zone by now, but some people might not be up with their clubs. Invite members to be an admin. How you do that. How to set up a team on a club portal. So looking at how you create your teams to then enter them into the junior competitions. Then looking at how to enter a team into a junior Grand Prix, and then how you can invite people to be a registered member of your club, or even if you'd want to, as a club, pay for the administration of your membership and invite them to it. So those are the 5 areas that hopefully I'm going to cover in the next half hour. So moving swiftly on, we have, if I take you to Volley Zone, I'm hoping everybody can see that. Obviously, in fact, I've just realised I haven't shared my screen, so I better share it first. Okay, I'm hoping that everybody can see that. So we're on the normal Volleyball England account. All you've got to do to get into your admin account is obviously click Volley Zone, which is the red box in the right-hand corner. So if we just click Volley Zone, it now takes you to the 4 membership areas. When it loads up, we have the membership, the administration account, referees account, and then general club. So obviously, to sign in as a member, you have your membership login to do anything relating to you as a player or a coach. Admin account is the one we're going to look at today, so you can organize your club and your teams. So the referees, if you're linked into referees management, and then on this side is obviously registering for an account. So anybody who hasn't got an account at the moment or wants to become a member, then they can obviously register through that portal there. So when we click the account in terms of admin account, it takes you to the login page, and you should have received an activation email to give you a username and password. Certainly, if you were part of the junior competitions previously, that should have been sent to you obviously over the summer when we've moved from the old Volley Zone to the new Volley Zone. If you haven't received that activation email, or if you have lost or deleted that activation email, please get in contact to us, either on volleyzone@volleyballengland.org or the competitions@volleyballengland.org, and we can send you a new username and password to log into your account. But you will need that username and password to be able to access the account. Once you press the username and password, you just log in. Now, this obviously takes me to my admin account, but I'm just going to log in myself into the club that I'm linked to demonstrate what happens in relation to the club. So I'm just going to log into Nuneaton. And once you've logged in and organized your club membership and done the basic details, it will come up with a home page that looks like this with the name at the top. So for the example of this is Nuneaton Volleyball Club. And then it will give you edit your games, members and team sheets, club details, communications, membership setup, accreditation, events, and then settings at the bottom. So those are all the tabs that you'll need to create the club and to create the teams that you want. So the first thing that I want to just touch on is to be able to invite other members of your club to be part of the admin. So to be able to administer your club and enter teams and put personnel in where you want them. So you go down to settings and manage user accounts. So if you just click on manage user accounts, it comes up. Now this club has 3 members that are already in admin. So if I wanted to add another member, I just click on add. And this brings me to the manage user accounts to add new account. So for example, if I wanted to put myself in there as an admin, I'd put in my email address. Pick out the little hyphen. Set a password. Okay, so you set a password for it, and then all we do is we click save, and that will then send you an email, send the email to the person that you want to invite. So we click save, and then on the manage accusing account, obviously, in terms of me, I can't get in there because I'm the administration, but it would then link into the managed user account where you have the list of people, and I would come up there as a managed user because I've invited myself into there, or you've invited that member into there. They would just need to click on the membership, the email that they receive, accept the invite, and then they would become an admin that can then help you organize your club and your team. So that's how we invite members to become admin and also get into your homepage for your club. Is there any questions so far in terms of how to access the club or how to invite an admin? Yes, Andrew, do you want to ask a question? You're on mute, Andrew, sorry.
At the moment, none of the club members are showing up as available. I think I've got 4 or 5 of the people of the 150 or so that have so would they, in order to invite them to be an admin, would they already have to be on VolleyZone themselves?
Not at the moment, no, because if you invite them to be part of the club, then they would come in there and then they would be asked to become a member anyway, and then they would stress what membership they would want.
Right. Okay. Because it's, I think that's a step I'm missing, and at the moment, yes, it's at the moment this is like the sort of straw that's breaking the camel's back.
So if you invite them to be an admin on your site, if they're not a member at present, then they would be asked to become a member, and then they would link to your club and they would become a member in their own right as an individual.
Right. So and the parent and child thing, I guess that there'll be videos on VolleyZone for that. So
yeah, there's videos on VolleyZone on the website under the frequently asked questions, but I'll obviously talk about bringing on membership later. This is for admin site rather than just general membership at the minute.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Gregor, have you got a question on admin?
Yeah, just a quick one about the passwords that you create there with the person's email. Is the details of that password included in the email, or is it sort of kept a secret and I will need to tell them personally so they can log in?
No, when you send the email, it'll have the username and the password in it, because obviously they will need both of those to access the site.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, brilliant. So what I'm going to do is obviously move on to the next section. So the next section is how to set up a team on VolleyZone. So Andrew, can you just mute your
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out how to do it.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, so we're moving on to how to set up a team on VolleyZone. So now you've got your admin and you're in your home screen. You need to go to members and team sheets. So under there, you've got team sheets and you've got team roster, or it may say team panel. If you click on team roster, it will take you to your team roster where you have all the teams listed that you have created. So at the minute for Nuneaton Volleyball Club, they've got an under 16 girls group that is in there that's created. So if I wanted to add another team into that club, I just click add. And it says add to a roster. the first two, the season, draft 23-24, can remain the same. Create roster for a team can remain the same. The next one is the age grade. So when you click on age grade, it's important to pick the correct age grade for the team that you want to enter, because that will link into the events that you can access. Now we have girls and we also have open. Open is basically the boys competition. So if you want to enter boys, it's under 18 open. If you want to enter girls, it's obviously under 18 girls. So I'm just going to enter an under 18 open. Now this also comes up with a gender mixed. If I clicked on under 18 girls, it would come up as female, but mixed is boys. So when you click open, it just comes up as mixed, but that's fine. The next section is team. Select a team. And what you want to do is create a new team. So we click on there, and it says here, when the final team name comes up, the final team name will be Nuneaton Volleyball Club. So all I'm going to enter here is under 18 boys as the name for that team that I'm creating. The last section is roster name. I'm going to leave that blank because I don't need to put that in there now, and it's easier if we leave it blank at the minute. I'm just going to click save, and it takes me to the roster. So this is my team sheet effectively for the under 18 boys. So roster name now, I'm going to put in under 18 boys and tick the little green tick on the corner, and that is updating my under 18 boys. Now this is my team sheet that when I want to enter my players, this is my roster. If I wanted to enter players, this is where I now enter players into the team roster, into the team sheet, and also the coaches down the bottom. So when I want to assign a coach to a team, I can enter it there. If I go back from this page, it will take me back to my team roster. And now, as you can see there, my new team, under 18 boys open, under 18 boys is now created. And I can do that for the same. So if I wanted to enter an under 18 boys B team, I do the same process, but instead of putting under 18 boys, I put under 18 boys A, under 18 boys B, etc., just to distinguish the different teams that are in there. And I continue that process for the amount of teams that I require for my club and what I would like to enter into the junior competitions. Okay. I'm just going to stop there for any questions on how to create your team in your team roster. So if there's anybody who's got any questions at the minute, Maddie?
Just a quick one. So I coach under 15s, and it's very likely that from the whole group, which is about 20 strong at the moment, I'll have maybe 4 teams entered into the junior Grand Prix. Do I create 4 teams or 4 rosters, or do I create one? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, so if you're entering the under 15s, and if it's tier 1 or tier 2, if you have 4 teams, then I would create 4 rosters. So you'd have under 15 girls A, under 15 B, C, and D. And then all those 4 teams then can be entered into the different competitions, because you need to enter them separately into the event.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Any more questions on how to create a team? No? Okay, so I will move on. So the next point is entering an event. So now we've got the rosters available. What I could do now is on the right-hand side of the rosters, we have these buttons. So the first button is send an email. The second one is history. The third one is create alternative record for an event. The fourth one is edit roster. So that will take me back to my edit roster page. So if I just do that just to demonstrate, it goes back to where we were a second ago in roster name. The final 2 buttons are enter an event, and then obviously the delete button. So if I want to enter an event for the under 18 boys, I would click on the little basket and the enter the event button. And this takes me to the events and programs. Now, at the beginning, it shows me that there's no programs listed for this team. The problem there is that the select association faults to the closest one to your club. So, for example, Nuneaton's in Warwickshire. If we click the drop-down box and click Volleyball England, which is the association running the event, all of the events become available. So you've got the under 18 tier 1 at the top, which is £132 because that includes all Grand Prix. But then you've got all the tier 2 events, Grand Prix 1, 2, 3, and 4 at £16. All I would do is just, if I was doing a tier 2, I would add that and it will go into the basket. So if I want to enter the first 2 Grand Prix, I just add them into the basket. If I want to do more teams at the same time and enter more teams, then I would go back and do the process for the under 16 girls that I've got in there at the minute. Once I'm happy with that, I'll click continue. And then it will ask for purchase of first name and last name. So for example, I'll just put again myself in there. And the email address. Okay, I don't need to put the mobile number in. This is just an effect to send the email of your purchase to the right person. Click save, and that should take me then to my payment page. So now it's got a purchase summary, under 16s, Grand Prix 1, under 18s, Grand Prix 1, Grand Prix 2, which is £32. There's no discount code. I'd enter my card details and we click continue and buy and purchase that event. And that event is then purchased and placed into your summary in your club area. Okay. I'm obviously not going to purchase that today, but I will. I'll just go back. And that's how we purchase an event. Any questions on purchasing an event? So Jane, you've got your hand up.
Hi, Richard. Just a quick one. Obviously, when you then go into that and you do it, it charges you like, I don't know, £1.50, something like that for your card payment. Is there no way you can do like you used to, where you could just put them all in a shopping basket and buy them all at once?
You can.
Because you have to pay £1.50 for every time you go on.
Yeah. So the way I did it there is I just did obviously the one team, but instead of clicking continue, you can actually go click back once you put it into the basket. Click back, go back to your team roster, pick another team, go through the process and add the events that you want into your basket. Click back, go to the next team and carry on the process until you're happy with the payment you want to make and the events you want to enter. And then click continue and it'll take you to the payment. But just to make you aware that the service charge and the 50p is on all the events that you enter anyway. So either way, you're not necessarily saving money, because obviously it will take it off the total amount anyway. But that is the way to do all the events in one go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions relating to entering an event? Hi, Andrew, you've got your hand up again. Yeah. Again, do you want to take yourself off mute?
Yeah, the where you were looking at the events, tier 1 and tier 2. What are tier 1 and tier 2? I'm completely new to this.
Okay, so tier 1 is what's classed as the national competition. So that is where teams will enter, and the first round will be fairly regional, and then it'll go into a national competition of gold, silver, bronze pools, and they will play off all the way through to a national final that's held in a cup final weekend in April next year. So that's like the national competition. The tier 2 is a developmental sort of new teams that want to enter a Grand Prix, and the Grand Prix is a standalone event, which is a round robin of technically 4 teams, and you play each other, and the winner is took there in terms of first, second, third, fourth, and then the second Grand Prix is then a new group of teams, and then you play each other again. So there's no follow on from each one. It's a standalone Grand Prix, but it's for development and participation.
And where you were choosing them, there was no date or anything associated with them, or is that deeper down? Do you have to?
Yeah, the dates are on the junior regulations, which are on the website, on the national junior competitions, but also the dates. If you click onto the information, the dates are on there.
Okay.
And also you can find them on the website, or also in the information.
Yeah. And lastly, the team names, you put A, B, but presumably if there were names or whatever, those were okay. Those can be used.
As long as you're aware of which team's which, that's fine. It's for you to distinguish, yeah.
Thanks, that's great.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm going to move on to the player registrations. This is the last section. So registering a member, the membership section is here. So you can view the members. So if I click on there for this club, all the members that have come in and are active now are actually listed in the sheet. So I can view members and check whether they're registered, etc. But there are two ways that you can register members. You can either they can register themselves, so they can go on the volleyball website and re-register and click and link to your club, or you can invite a register members and invite a specific member. So you decide what membership category you want to invite them to, click continue, and then add their details in, their name and their email address, and that will send them an invite to register as part of your club. The second way of doing it is a group registration. So some clubs or schools want to register their teams and register each person individually as a group. So the club pays for their registration fee. So you can do that by going group registration. And on this, the registration email would be your email because you want to email yourself with all the details that you did. The payment method and the membership status can stay the same because it would be split pay again on the website. And the membership status will be, even though you're paying for that member, you would need more info from that member when they sign up. So they would need then to put in their details to make sure that they've got them correct. But they will need to do that after you've signed them up and paid their information. You can create an email that will be sent to all the people that you link to the group membership, just to inform them that you've signed them up. And then in the end, you add the member by clicking on the add. You can either do it by their membership ID, first name, last name, date of birth, or email. And you just need to do 3 out of the 5. You select the membership. So for this, it would be junior competitions, which is £5.50 per member to play in the competitions this year. And then you would add the member, and then you just repeat the process for the amount of people that you want in the group, and then click next, and that will send them an email and send you to the payment page for the club to pay the membership fees for those members you want to sign up. So those are 2 ways that the club can invite membership by a group or individual, but obviously the member can go onto the Volleyball England website and link into their activation email, or set up a new membership details if they're a new member to your club or new member to Volleyball England, and then just link directly to your club through the same process that a normal member would. So those are the 3 ways that you can add members to your site and to your club. Okay. Is there any questions on the membership? So Derek, got a question?
Yeah, this might be a daft question. We've got the deadline of next Monday for getting the teams entered and so on. Presumably we don't need to have all the players assigned to the team by the 11th of September, do we?
No, not at all. You just need to create the team, enter the team, and then obviously the team just needs to be populated and the members need to be registered prior to the first Grand Prix that you're playing in. So you've got at least a month to 6 weeks to sort that one out as a club.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. Maddie?
My question was semi-related to player assignment. Again, I'm coaching quite young ones. If I assign someone to a team to begin with, can they be moved to a different team later in the season?
Yes, they can.
As the CB progresses?
Yeah, so if I just show you that quickly, so if I just go back to the team roster, so if I go onto team roster and I go back into my team, so let's click on the team that I've created, which is the under 18 boys. And it goes to the roster. Now, if I go into players, at the minute, there's no players added for this team.
Yeah.
But if all I do is I go on to add, and it will pull up all the members that are in the club so far. So if I add in actually my 2 daughters there, that would be perfect, and myself. Then as I go back, if I go back to the team, it then lists, sorry, I've gone back one too far. So if I go back to edit and I go into players, those 3 players are now part of that team.
Mhm.
And I can add in the shirt number if I want to. It gives us our volleyball ID number, etc. If I want to take a player out of that team, all I do is just remove them.
Okay. And then you
Yeah,
can just add them into another one.
Correct.
Basically.
So you can
Great.
swap and change them as many times as you want through the season, as long as
Cool.
they're registered members. That's up to you where you put them and how you address them. For the older groups, they will probably stay relatively the same.
Mm.
But I appreciate under 15, you just take them out of one team and add
Yeah.
them to another, because you just go back to the add list, and again, my name's come up on the add list there, so I could just add myself back into it.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
so
you
much.
just continue the process.
Thank you.
No problem. So Jane, you've got a question? We'll try and get through people.
So if so for example, I decide that I'm going to add my players to, like, join them all up and pay for them. Do they then have to be a member of Volleyball England? I had this issue last year, like some of the younger ones that don't have parents that engage, might not have an email address. It's really difficult. So do they have to have an email address? Do you know what I mean? And a Volleyball England account?
Yeah, I mean, all junior players should be registered with Volleyball England to play in the junior competitions. It might be that you could set them up as a school email. So you could put them onto their school account, or you could link them in. They don't necessarily need an email to send it through to them, but they will need their date of birth or their first and last names. But they will need to be registered with Volleyball England to play.
And if the parents don't engage, what then? They can't play?
Well, in terms of the payment, you've got the payment in terms of if the club pays. But then obviously you'll need the emergency details that you've got needs to be added to that player. So you could effectively put on the information that you have from the parents into that player's registration details.
Okay, and so register them as a Volleyball England myself, but with their parents' details.
Yeah, but,
and it's not very often, but I have a few players whose parents just don't engage at all.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but obviously in relation to junior competitions, there's a safeguarding issue that we need that information just in case anything happens, don't we? So it'd just be a matter of, if you from your club information is the emergency contact details, transferring them over to their membership that you've created.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Ian?
Hi, Rich. Just I've got a couple of questions. One linked in with the junior membership. So on the old Volley Zone, often juniors would have their account through their parents, you know, when you impersonated their child.
Yeah.
What I can see is that not possible on the new system. It's just they have their own account as such.
No, a parent can put on their child onto their account still. So, for example, I've registered Rosie, my daughter, onto the Nuneaton through my account, but she has her own separate email. She has her own separate Volleyball England registration number, etc. So they can still do that.
Okay. So if they were to transfer, like when they reactivate on the new system, if they had that previously, does it automatically transfer over with their child account?
It should do, yeah, and it should when they reactivate it, then it should ask them to log into your club, etc., and go through the same process. Okay,
cool. Second question, you've just been showing about adding the players to the team.
Yeah.
I've been doing that already, but there's some players that have a crossed out on the team sheet column on the membership, and I can't. So some have got the green tick and some have got the black circle, and the ones without a green tick I can't add to a team. So I wasn't sure why some had the green tick and some didn't.
So the green tick means that their membership is active. So either they've reconfigured their membership and paid their membership fee this year, and actually created their active membership for 23-24. The sort of black circle means that they haven't reactivated their membership yet, and therefore you won't be able to use that until they've become an active member again.
it's got a green tick on the active column.
Oh.
And they've paid them. I can see they've paid all their memberships. It's green on active, but on the team sheet column, it's not got a green tick.
Okay. Maybe that's one for me to pick up tomorrow, Ian.
Okay.
Rather than doing it on the meeting tonight. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem. That's fine.
Okay. I'll make a note of that when we finish.
Oh,
sorry, I can't be more helpful on that one, but I'd rather go back and do it. Jonathan Moore might be able to check that one out for me while he's on there, while he's listening. Tutors, is that you, Dave?
Yeah, Dave Conte. Yeah, you were just mentioning about moving players around teams. Obviously, you do need to check your regulations because in Tier 1, there are regulations about players playing for different teams and when they're allowed to transfer or not. So Tier 2, I think it's pretty flexible. But on Tier 1, you do need to check the regulations about what you're allowed to do.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, Tier 1 has more regulations on who you can swap between teams. But Tier 2, yeah, there's more flexibility on that. But that is stipulated in the regulations. So thanks, Dave, for that. AST, volleyball.
Hello, this is Bülent. Just, I don't know if you're related, but my question is, we have some players who can play under 18 and also under 16, for example. Are they able to, we can put the same name in both lists in the same time, or when they play under, for example, 18, we have to remove under 16 and then move to under 18? How does it work?
A player that is under 16 of age can play for both 16 and 18. So you should be able to put them into both rosters because they're two separate teams.
So their name will be appeared on the both lists. It will be the same time.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Howard? Need to unmute yourself, Howard. Howard, you're on mute. There you go. You're on.
Okay. The guy before just asked the exact same question I was going to ask, so it's already sorted.
All right. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
I like the hand gestures. The mime. Thanks, Howard. Ian, your hand's still up, but have you finished the questions that you want, or have you got another question?
No, I've left it by mistake.
Okay, no problem at all. Are there any other general questions in relation to anything that we've gone through tonight? Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, sorry, Jane, yeah?
Sorry, it's always me with millions of questions. I'm having an issue with the parent and child thing, and I don't know whether this is for another conversation, but if I go on and try and register myself with Frodsham Volleyball Club, it comes up with only my son's name and not mine. So at the minute, I can't complete all the things I need to complete for the Volleyball England club registration because I can't add myself as a member of my club or as the team secretary.
John, do you want to just jump in on that one?
Yeah, I can do. So I'd have to have a look at your account, Jane. But it sounds like you've got the login to essentially your child's account, and what we need to do is add in another an account under your profile that's got your details in. So that
that's what when I log on to my Volley Zone account, it's got my details on one side, and it says my coaching license is active, and then on the other side it's got my son's name. But then when I try and go into, you know, where you join things and you get a drop down menu, and it only gives me his name, not my name. So like I can't add myself to Frodsham Volleyball Club so I can be the secretary. Do you see what I mean? Sounds like something not for this conversation, probably.
Yeah, I think we'd have to look at it in a little bit more detail to find out why why you can't add yourself to these things, because I can see, I'm looking at your account now, and I can see that you've got a separate profile, and therefore you should be able to do all of these things.
Yeah. And just while we're on that, sorry, when you go on and it says your profile, then is there not a way that you can, like, rather than going through that home page that you did before, do you know what I mean, to search for a club or whatever and add, should there not be a button at the bottom of your own homepage so you can add stuff? Like I say, if I want to renew my coach's license or something, I can't do it from my own thing. I've got to go through that 3-step thing and find the club and then register it that way.
I think what you're talking about there is there's two different accounts, isn't it? There's an admin account, and then there's the membership account. So I'm the same in the sense that I've got my administration account through Volleyball England, but as a member, a general member, I've got to go into the membership portal to actually assess my coaching, refereeing, and anything else relating to playing, which is just how the system's set up.
Okay.
All right. We'll come back to you tomorrow, Jane, regarding the issue with logging in with your son, etc. Anton, you got your hand up. Anton?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I've tried to set up because we're a big club and we've tried to set up a few admins. I know, Jonathan, if you could double check, but that hasn't quite worked. So if you could just double check what's going on there, so we could probably go through that re-registration again. But right now we're using the same logon, which is not ideal and not very secure. Thank you.
Yeah, I can see on your account for Richmond that there's 7 people with admin accounts in addition to the first master account details that
and
you were
I have
given.
not received an email from Richmond, well, from anyone. When I added myself with my private email address, I have not seen any information come through to me to confirm the logon and stuff like that. So even though we've added, there was no further communication to the person that we've added to the admin.
I've just asked the systems like reset your email. That should trigger an email to you, and if it doesn't, then the other option available for us is to actually set a password and just email it to you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll try to do. Thank you very much.
Ian, I don't know if you've seen the chat, but Jonathan's just put in there that he sorted out your issues with your membership and cleared that up for you. Jane, you still got your hand up, but have you covered everything you want to speak about and ask?
Yeah, sorry. I'll put my hand down.
It's okay, no problem. If there is no more questions, I'd just like to thank you very much for your time this evening. I hope it's been beneficial to help you get through the process of organising your teams and creating buying into events and putting your teams in there. Look forward to receiving those entries this week. If you've got any questions, then obviously please let us know. Email, telephone, we're always there to give you a hand to make sure that everything's in order for next week. Anyway, without Jane, you got your hand up again?
Sorry, I've just been kicked out and now it says my password's invalid. And I'm using the password you sent me about an hour ago. So I can't go back in now.
Any ideas, John, at the minute from that side? No. Let me finish the meeting, Jane, and then I'll try and get on and send you another one.
Sorry, everyone. I'm just having a nightmare.
It's okay. Okay, thank you very much for your time, everybody. Have a nice evening. Enjoy the sunshine, and I'll speak soon. Take care now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.